Jamaica, me say. And we no care where we there. Yes, we give thanks for Jamaica, a gift to the world by the maker. I don't even care who you vote for, as long as you stand for Jamaica. And whether you live on the island or in the diaspora, we are stronger together. We love Jamaica, one Jamaica we say. And we no care in the world where we there. One Jamaica we say. We give them bolt and we give them reggae. One Jamaica we say. And we no care in the world where we there. One Jamaica we say. We give them bolt and we give them reggae. We have been through the fire, we have been through the rain. Now the stakes getting higher, our faith will remain. We are brave, bold and strong, we will never stay down. Our history has shown we will rise from the ground. One Jamaica we say, and we no care in the world where we there. One Jamaica we say, we give them bolt and we give them. Welcome to Lavi Edit. Today is November 7th, 2025. And by my count, it should be about 11 days since Jamaica was battered by a Category 5 hurricane named Melissa. It's an understatement to say we were battered. If this was a situation where one country was fighting another country, I would describe this as an abuse. It would be like the United States dropping a nuclear bomb, say, on Grenada, a small island. All right. There will be no contest between the United States and, say, a Grenada. There's no way that you would expect a little small island in the Caribbean to be fighting with the United States. So that is what I would liken this experience to. And it has left a lot of people in disarray, dislocation. It has been a very heart-wrenching experience to see the disaster that has happened. And although I am not living on the island at this moment and wasn't there when it happened, I have been through a hurricane before and I understand. And I'm still traumatized by the experience. So I totally get it. And to see places like Black River, the capital of my parish, being totally decimated is heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. And as a result of that, the national response is very important. This is a time in our history that no one should be using political tools and painting everything in the colors of politics as we address this human crisis, because it is a crisis. And it breaks my heart to see people with misinformation talking things that's not even close to being true, just because they are not in favor of the government of the day, and because they just want to run up their I don't know, is this about getting views? Because if it is like prostituting yourself. It's like giving up your own country for clicks and points. Most distressing about it is the fact that the things that they say can affect the help that we get from the international community. And that is my concern. It is a very serious thing. And I think that people should be more responsible, and people should be more selfless, and people should see themselves first and foremost as humans who are Jamaicans. Period.
Now, I understand that the political silly season had just ended, or should have ended on the date that the elections were declared to have been completed and a government was sworn into office, right? But obviously, some people have never stopped campaigning and will never stop campaigning. And they will say and do anything at all to achieve their political ends, even if it means to destroy the very thing that they want to be in control of. And that's distressing. We have had a pandemic that we went through, and we did a great job. The people and government of Jamaica did an excellent job, one that is commendable, that was admired by others. And we have been through burial. Now, I have not seen or heard of any credible accusations that were ever brought against the government that they distributed relief and support in a partisan way. Never heard it. Now, it could be out there, but if it was credible and significant, I would have heard it, right? So, and you would have heard it. So, now that we are responding to a category 5 disaster, a hurricane that has pummeled our island, decimated uh, the half of our beautiful island, wiping out communities and destroying towns. Why are we creating a narrative that is not a part of our recent history? Why spread lies about the government for no credible reason? Why are we trying to destroy the baby with the bathwater? What we do and what we say significantly create the atmosphere within which we will recover. When we spread lies about our government, the international community will use that as a scale to decide if they help and the extent to which they will help. And you know who it is going to affect? The very people who are spreading the lies. And they will wash their hands and they will say, no, 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 no. It's not what we did, it's what the government did. When there's nothing to actually point to, right? Because they have created a misleading narrative. And I understand sometimes these bloggers, they do these things because this is how they make a living. And it's a damn shame. You should consider yourself a political prostitute who will sell any and everything at the expense of the very country from which you come. It's a shame. I have my political opinions. I have my biases, like anybody else. I am proud to say I have biases. And everybody has biases. It is how you use your bias. You can use it fairly or you can use it unfairly. You can use it with discretion or you can be indiscreet. But there's always going to be a bias. But fairness does not rob you of your ability to be biased. So we can be biased, but we can be fair. And telling lies that has far reaching implications for our country, it's not cool. It's not cool. And anybody who is doing it, you should be ashamed of yourself. Whether you're a political representative or you are a blogger or vlogger, don't be a robber. Don't rob us of the opportunity to be helped in the maximal way we can be. Don't be a reason that we didn't get an extra million that we would have needed. It's not worth it. It's not worth to destroy the very thing you want to take control of. It's not cool. Now, before I criticize, I would like to compliment because that's what I mean when I say you can have a bias, but you must be fair. And the compliment is this: I watched the Prime Minister in the sitting of the Parliament a few days ago, updating the nation and the Parliament about the condition and the state of our recovery. And um, I note the posture and attitude of the opposition, led by Mr. Mark Golding, and it was heartwarming to see a level of maturity, a level of support that was coming from across the aisle, because that is what the government should be like. And there are times when it will not be like that, and it will still be appropriate given the circumstances. But in a time like this, when our island is in the worst crisis it has ever had, then what I saw unfolding in our parliament was good. Okay? I'm not going to take away that from the People's National Party, because at the end of the day, even if I don't have a predisposition to be a supporter or member of that party, at the end of the day, they are Jamaicans. We share the same ancestry. We share the same history. We share the same communities. We share the food that we have when we are hungry. We entertain ourselves together. So we should not forget those things, because those things are more important than the result of an election or the result of a game. These are serious, important things. It's about relationship and loyalty to your country and your people. So I like to frame my argument and my position against that background. Because if it is not framed against that background, then everything else that you're supporting is of no value to your country. It is just serving your own interests, which probably is not even in your best interest. So I do commend the opposition for the posture and reaching out and saying to the government, we are ready to help wherever you want us to. Of note, I also realized that Mr. Holness and Mr. Golding have been talking. It was obvious that they have been meeting and talking. But if you listen to the vloggers, you would think that the government has totally shut out the opposition. That's what you would think. It's crazy. And it goes to show that sometimes these politicians, they know exactly what you are thinking. They know things that they will not tell you, because they want you to continue thinking what you're thinking. And I'm going to give you an example very soon. But I want to go back to the parliament. I heard the opposition member, one after the other, complimenting the prime minister for what he had said. One after the other. As they rose to ask their questions, they started by complimenting him. And I know that those vloggers on the internet who spread these lies, when they see that, they are upset. They don't like to see that level of positive energy between the two political parties, because they are too diehard. They don't understand that politics is a means to an end, not an end in itself. So I want to give you an example of what I think, and this is an opinion, it is not a fact. My opinion will be based on the fact, but hear me out. In the aftermath of the hurricane, the Prime Minister flew down to St. Elizabeth. Now, I heard him say that he would have stopped in Westmoreland if there was somewhere to land the helicopter. Okay, I take him at his word. And and in any ways, he would have to stop somewhere first. So it was something that St. Elizabeth was more accommodating as far as he's concerned. Then I saw people saying, then Mr. Golden went down to Westmoreland, I think. And he made it, when he was talking in his interview, he said he chartered a helicopter to come down there. He never said anything about, I asked the Prime Minister for a helicopter and he didn't give it to me. Never said that. I heard none of the spokespersons from his party, the official spokespersons, raise it as an issue that he was denied an helicopter. Yet, it was one of the first accusations against the government and the Prime Minister in particular that he had refused to give Mr. Golden a helicopter that was requested. You know, so and so there's no source out there, and I've checked because I wanted to be sure because it just sound it don't it didn't sound it didn't sound as if it was in accordance with the people involved. I don't think the Prime Minister would have denied Mr. Golden. Um, and as it turned out, it seems as if Mr. Golden didn't even ask for whatever reason. Now I can come up with some reasons, but those are opinions, and I don't wish to give that right now. But I do have an opinion on the fact that the vloggers who are out there spreading that misinformation, the only way to counter them effectively is for the opposition leader himself to say, I did not request an helicopter, or I did request one and I didn't get it. But Mr. Golden is aware of the accusation. Okay? These politicians are not walking around ignorantly. They are following everything on the internet, and they are always visiting the videos of the bloggers who support their parties. Okay? So don't let's not think that they are ignorant of that. And if they don't hear it, they have their lieutenants who will tell them that look, there's a video out there doing this and doing that. Mr. Golden, I think, should have come out, given the nature of the situation, the crisis. He should have come out and put an end to that lie, but he did not. And this is where my opinion comes in. I think he did not because he's a politician and he will allow it to run because it is good sentiment for him. Okay, it put him in a situation where he is being his supporters are having sympathy for him and commiserating with his misfortune of not getting an helicopter. So he'll go along with it, and other members of the PMP will go along with it because it served their political interests, and that is where I think that um, in this time, on the heel of an election, and the level of emotions that were involved, and the supporters of the People's National Party, understandably, are struggling with the loss because they have never been in opposition this long. I understand it, okay? And it is humane to mourn. Nothing is wrong with it. It's not a weakness. It's actually a strength when you're honest with it. But to take it to the level where you start to lie about it, mean that you will never get over your trauma. You never get over trauma by lying about your trauma. You acknowledge it, embrace it, let it live out its course, and then you get over it. Some things we can't change, but we can live with it. So, the Prime Minister decided to respond to the accusations that it was political that he did not go to Westmoreland when he flew down to St. Elizabeth. And there are many more accusations that are being bandied about, obviously for political reasons because they have no credibility in facts. This is a catastrophe. We've never had anything like this. There are going to be mistakes, there are going to be hiccups, and they need not to be described. as being political. So here is what the Prime Minister had to say.
Let me stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government. There will be no politicization of aid. It never happened in COVID, it never happened in burial, and it will not happen. Madam Speaker, I can point out to you that the member from Eastern Westmoreland made his public comments. I saw them. I reached out to the leader of the opposition. I recognized your pain in what you said. I saw your public comments. I recognized the pain in what you said, and I asked the member from Southeast Clarendon, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, to reach out to you. It is only a matter of logistics why I was not able to land in Darliston or in White House. My friend, if the helicopters could have landed me there, I would have landed there, and I would have been by your side if I could find you. There was no attempt whatsoever. And the suffering of Jamaicans in your constituency, the suffering of Jamaicans in the constituency of Northwest St. Elizabeth is of concern. There are constituencies over here that we have not reached. Southern Trelawney, we haven't reached. Northwestern St. Elizabeth, we haven't reached. So all I'm saying, Madam Speaker, and to Jamaica, I must stand up firmly and close the door on any attempt to politicize aid in Jamaica.
I am going to close by saying this. You saw the Prime Minister. You heard what he said. He said no political victimization happened during COVID. No political victimization happened during burial. Nobody from the opposition side objected to that fact. Nobody said, Prime Minister, that's not true. And a lot of those people, after the Prime Minister's presentation, stood up to speak on behalf of the constituencies that they represent and the needs that they have in this crisis. And none took the opportunity to refute what the Prime Minister said. As a matter of fact, they were complimentary. So here's what I'm going to say. It is good to have a healthy dose of cynicism in a world of humans with flaws. But the ocean of cynicism must stop at the shore of truth and facts. Just be true to the truth. Otherwise, we will have consequences and implications that are unfriendly and hurtful to our country at this time. We need to put the best of ourselves forward. We had an election. We elected a prime minister. And we also elected an opposition leader. Neither of those men are more important than the interests of Jamaica. And that's what we should focus on. At this time, the reins of leadership is in the hand of Andrew Holness. And Mr. Mark Golding has been asked to be our opposition leader, a significant role. It is not just a role of opposing. In our constitution, the opposition and the government form the collective government. In this crisis, let us look, let us see, let us speak with clarity, and let us act with integrity for the interests of Jamaica, our beautiful island, the envy of many, a place we call home. I want to thank you for tuning in to this channel, and I would invite you to subscribe and share this video with your friends and your family. Until then, a one Jamaica me say.